What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video I want to show you the Core Compressor from Kit Plugins. So this compressor is the follow-up to their BBN 105 version 2, which I was very impressed with, so I had high expectations for this compressor, and starting off this review right off the bat, I will tell you this does not disappoint at all. So let's go over the controls and then let's get into what this sounds like. This is a transformer model compressor. It has a fixed ratio of 3:1. On the outsides, we have our input and output. Top, we can bypass it here. This crush button is going to do exactly what you think it would do. Push it in, we see some settings change here. Threshold goes all the way down. We've got a fast attack and a slow release. This body knob, this is interesting. So this adds a 250 low shelf, and that's going to be post compression. And then we've got a mix knob here, which is very handy when you're using the crush. So I'm going to show you this compressor on some vocals. I'm going to show it to you on this 2-track, and then we'll listen to it on some drums as well. All right, I've got a vocal here from Simone Curry. We're going to start with the track, though. Go ahead and solo this. And we have the Core Compressor on. See if I can find where these drums come in. And let's start with the Core Compressor bypassed. And with the Core Compressor. You can really hear the weight that this is adding. I've got 2 dB on the makeup gain, so it's not like I'm really driving it. And speaking of the makeup gain, what I really love about this compressor is the output. The more you drive it, the more saturation you can get. We'll dig into that more with the vocal. Let's use this body here. Right now it's only at 1 dB gain. Let's bump that up. This goes up to 5 dB. All right, let's drive the output some. All right, so if you want it cleaner, you can just leave your output at 0 dB or even bring it down some if you need to and use the input gain instead to drive into the compressor. All right, let's check out the vocal. And this is without the Core Compressor.
Under the foggy day, I'm looking for a light.
Let me back up. I want to hit this this peak here.
I can't get back up on my feet. See the lights on the street like stars. But look what I found. Look what I found. Another piece of my heart just laying on the ground. Yeah.
All right, let's turn on the Core Compressor. We've got 2 dB on the body, 10 millisecond attack, 200 millisecond release, and I've got the output up 3 dB.
I'm at the bottom of a bottle. I've been knocking them down. I can't get back up on my feet. See the lights on the street like stars. But look what I found. Look what I found. Another piece of my heart just laying on the ground. Yeah.
All right, let's drive the output and get a little more saturation here. Let's close this one. All right, and we'll take it from the top here.
I'm alone in my house. I'm out on the town. I'm at the bottom of a bottle. I've been knocking them down.
And without it.
I'm alone in my house. I'm out on the town. I'm at the bottom of a bottle. I've been knocking them down.
So, I mean, it certainly sounds good without it, but just when you add the core compressor, it just moves forward. The saturation is nice. And let's take this phrase here, and I just want to do this as a comparison. I've got the same settings set here for the Studio One compressor, and I just want to show you the difference between the core compressor and the Studio One compressor here. This is with the Studio One compressor. And these are both set the same 10 millisecond attack, 200 millisecond release, 3 dB on the makeup gain. Let's set that back to 3 dB. 14 dB on the threshold. All right, here we go. The Studio One compressor.
I'm at the bottom of a bottle. I've been knocking them down.
And core compressor.
I'm at the bottom of a bottle. I've been knocking them down.
So you can just hear the saturation, the color, the tone, the weight that this adds. All right, let's check this out on some drums now. Okay, so we got the core compressor here on some drums, and let's mess with this crush. So I'm going to play it, and I'm going to bring the crush in, and then we'll turn some knobs here. And one thing I forgot to mention, so when you're in this crush mode, your attack and release are fixed, so you can't move those. But we can move the body and the mix. And I think the input and out, yeah, we can adjust the input and output. But we're gonna, let's add some body, and then I'm gonna dial the mix back. All right, so very aggressive compression, obviously, with the crush there. Out of curiosity, I want to compare this to, if I can get it up quickly here. Let's see. Yeah. Compare these to a couple other plugins that I normally use on drums. Let's get that all button in going here and see what we got with the core compressor and just compare it to the CLA 76 from Waves here. And the core compressor. Okay, so similar sounds we're getting there, but that body knob on the core compressor is just adding a little more weight there with that low end. All right, so final thoughts on the core compressor. Like I said, this adds weight, this adds tone, and it just really sounds analog. And it's really an addictive sound too. It's one of those plugins that you just want to use on everything, even though you certainly don't want that tone and color on everything. But very addictive. Only thing I would say, because of the body, it would be nice to have a high pass filter on here, because I definitely see myself using this on a lot of instruments and sources for with low end like drums, bass. So it would be nice to have a high pass filter, but you know maybe that can come later. But I mean, for what this is right now, this is only $29, which is pretty crazy. I was not expecting that price tag for a compressor like this. So I've got a link in the description if y'all want to check this out, which you certainly should. And if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to continue to see content from me, then you know what to do. All right, any questions, comments, let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time. If you're interested in having me mix your song and my mastering engineer D. Lyles master it, check my link tree in this video description. From there, you can email me, you can visit my website, and check out mixes that I've done.